Welcome back to the Jumpstart Your Networking Minisodes. This is episode number 2. I'm Bonnie Fanning, and I'm having short conversations with Ilise Benun. Ilise, can you give us a way to adjust our mindset so that we can look at networking as something that doesn't feel gross?
Yes, of course, because it's not gross. It's actually one of my favorite things to do because I love talking to people and listening to people. This is how I get my ideas. This is what feeds me. It may not feed you. It doesn't necessarily feed everyone. But I think one of the obstacles I see people putting in front of themselves is that, number one, they think they have to put on this professional persona. Like, I can't be me. I've got to be some professional person that I'm not, which is like an imposter, right? People feel like they need to be an imposter. And I really think that's where imposter syndrome comes from, that you don't necessarily have to be someone besides yourself because you're looking for people who will be attracted to and drawn to you. So the more you can bring yourself into your marketing, and that includes your networking, the more comfortable you will be doing it and the more receptive others will be to you.
So how do you make it about the other person and ask a lot of questions, but also bring yourself into it authentically?
Yeah. And so this is where another mindset that I think is helpful needs to come in, which is don't think about it as networking. Think about it as you're going to a party. And hopefully you like going to parties. If you don't, you might need a different metaphor. And or you're making friends. You're just out there making friends because, people like to work with people they know, like, and trust. That's a tenet of marketing. And so through your networking, you need to be yourself so that you attract the people who are going to want to know, like, and trust you. And then it's actually in the follow-up, which are different marketing tools, but in the follow-up that they really deepen the trust and you cultivate the relationships. But the initial networking is where you meet people in the first place and decide, is this someone I would like to be friends with? So don't think about it as business, think about it as friends.
Another thing that people have brought up is the next step is actually going from those connections into like the selling part or pitching what you offer and turning that into work, right? So we're going to talk about that in the very next Minisode. So you guys stay tuned for that coming up. And remember that we have a huge free networking event, the Jumpstart Your Networking webinar coming up. You can register for it down there. It's going to be on May 15th from noon to 1 o'clock Eastern, and it's going to give you all kinds of resources to get your start. So
Wait.